Welcome back to Coach Cameron's podcast of crazy, and well, it's not crazy, but I have so many different topics I want to talk about, and thank you for listening as I drive to work to Phoenix College in this cold morning. I got up, it was cold, and guess what? We're not turning my AC on or my heater on in December in Arizona. Why should we? We're in Arizona. It's cold. It's Arizona cold, we'll call it. But there's a nice change from going from my warm bed, my comforter keeping me warm, and then when I take it off, it's cold, Arizona cold, and it's good. I do go through my head. I'm like, oh, I need to get the heater on. Oh, I need to take a hot shower, but don't do it. I'm not going to do it. I understand it differently. I want to suffer. You need that transition that you're mentally going through those kind of conversations of how do I get out of this pain. And then avoid accepting of pleasure of heat in Arizona cold, and fight through it. It's a small fight. Then I get in my vehicle where I don't have an AC or heater. It's a different suffrage. It's okay. You need to go through that. You need to have your brain go through that and have those small little battles. And then increase the small battles to bigger battles if you see fit to do so, and life will be good. And then we'll keep progressing. We have to be careful what we're doing with our children. As I transition to that point, we have to be careful. I was listening to Joe Rogan's podcast, and they had GSP's trainer. I forgot his name, but he's a very brilliant man, and he's very intelligent. But he was talking about how the next generation fighters in mixed martial arts are going to be different from this area of the world, in where we're at with the United States and Canada, because we're given much. We're producing a lot of weak human beings, and they want everything given to them because they don't respect what their ancestors have done before them. They haven't seen it, so therefore they're just given things and they just want, and it's a problem. So he talked about his gym, and he doesn't have timelines, and a lot of gyms have timelines. And when he's talking about timelines, he's talking about when they get their belts. So you'll get your black belt on this day, you'll get your blue belt on this day, and your brown belt. And they have a process, and it sounds awesome. Versus you got to earn it, and you have to go through these different things. So like you have to be able to do these submissions in practice, and then in a real competition, and then you'll get your belt and stuff. But he loses a lot of customers because they're going to go somewhere else where they're guaranteed those belts versus earning it, and that's a problem. So he's seeing it these gyms pop up all over the place, and they're fighting over competition, and the best way to get more customers is sell them false hope. And then they get a black belt in say 5 years or whatever, and not really earn it. They just kind of wait, and then they go and compete, and they lose to a brown belt, and they feel horrible and quit. I mean, how's that help anybody? And it totally makes sense. We got to stop giving. We have to really recognize where we came from. Where did our great grandfathers come from? They suffered through the Great Depression. They overcame it. They provided. And then their children saw the suffrage and worked hard because they didn't want to go through what they went through. And then as generation goes on, we forget what happened in the past. We lose the humble effect that we got from tragedy, the Great Depression, the tough times of life. We're forgetting all those things. So I need to make sure my children have that. My children have a lot of things compared to my ancestors. We got to stop giving our kids so much. They have a cell phone, they have a tablet, they have a car, they have all these things. Take it away. Just because you have money doesn't mean you should give it to them. You shouldn't give them everything they need. And when I hear parents, they're ignorant statements. And I apologize to my friends that have said this, and I've heard it. I want to make sure my kids never suffer like I did. I'm going to give them everything they ever dreamed of. You know who you are. And if you've made that statement, you're an ignorant fool, and you're destroying that child, and you're just destroy your grandchildren and then their grandchildren. Don't give them anything. Make them earn everything. That's the way it needs to go. That's life. And it's hard. And I'm battling with that right now with my children. I shouldn't give them anything. They need to suffer. When do you cut the umbilical cord? When do you cut it? Well, Cody, Ryan, Jack, Jet, the umbilical cord has been cut. Welcome to suffrage. I'm turning your phones off today. You better get jobs. Yes, Jet. 8. Child labor laws in this country are destroying this country. Who said that? That was, I think, Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. Yes, child labor laws in this country are killing it. So, this is Coach Cameron telling all you parents, all you coaches, have them earn it, have them suffer, take their cell phones away, get them beepers. Give them a beeper. They have to beep you, and then you know where they're at, and you can send cool text messages like hello with numbers. Take things away from your children. So I declare this day, we should do this. This is take away from your child day. Take something from them. Take their Facebook account or Instagram account or whatever. Take something away from them. Have them kick and scream and cry, and then teach them how to be humble. And that's my message today. Good day.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.